A hearty good afternoon to one and all present over here. This is Nikita Das of Standard 9D standing for you to present my project on disease identification. There are at least 10,000 diseases in the world, though there are likely more. Only 500 treatments are known today. With the growing population, the number of patients is increasing day by day with an increase in demand for more healthcare centers and doctors. In the country like India, a number of patients get neglected and do not get proper treatment at time. This is due to poverty, less number of healthcare centers, more number of patients and lack of time. For this situation, I have made a device, the disease identifier, which will help the patient to identify the disease they are suffering from. For this, we have to press the switch on the box of symptoms we feel like we are suffering from, and the light glows on the respective disease. I have made this device by using simple circuit. I have used a 9-volt battery, 2 high-power LED bulbs and insulated wires and a switch. The positive terminal of the battery, the bulbs are connected with an insulated wire, and the negative terminal of the bulbs are connected to the switch, and the switch is connected to the battery. When the switch is pressed, the light glows. For example, if we feel like we are suffering from high fever, chills, coughs, headache and stomach pain, we would press the switch and the light glows on typhoid and flu. In this way, the patient could know from which disease he or she might be suffering from. But still, we are failing to identify the particular disease from which he or she might be suffering from. This is because some diseases share some common symptoms with each other. Let's take an example. Disease A, disease B and disease C. Disease A have symptom 1, 2, 3 and 4. We know that if a person have this combination of symptom 1, 2 and 3 and 4, he or she might be suffering from disease A. But if the patient is having symptom 1, 4 and 5, is that person suffering from disease A or disease B? But if the patient has symptom 2, 3 and 5, is that patient having disease A or disease C? It gets very confusing to identify the particular disease. For this, the most important thing that we must look at first is the patient. Analysis of any symptom must start with the patient. Factors related to the patient matter. So what are the few things that we must look at first before making any sense of symptoms in that person? So these are the age of the patient, the gender, the body mass index, occupation, level of physical activities, smoking habit or use of alcohol, history of any prior medical problems, and even the personality of that patient matter. After knowing a patient very well, we move on to analyze the particular symptom in detail. So we ask where exactly it started, what kind of pain it was, what made it worse, what made it better, how long did it last, whether it was constant or intermittent. After collecting all these data, we could know the immediate and the contributory cause of the disease. Hence, we could identify the particular disease the patient might be suffering from. For this, I have made a health profile where a patient's page is there, where the person has to fill up all the factors of all the details and the factors of the patient and symptoms, and then here the how to use the disease identifier steps are there so that he could follow to use the disease identifier. In this way, the patients could get help to know the disease they might be suffering from. So it can also be helpful for the healthy people if it is added with all the advanced features like the pulse rate checker, that is the pulse oximeter, and digital high blood pressure checkers. If a person has have the pulse rate below 60 beats per minute, then the disease identifier will notify the person that something wrong is there in his or her body, and he must consult a doctor. In this way, the disease identifier will be very much helpful for the people. It will be a very fast disease identifying process and hence it would save a lot of time. There will be no delays in treatment and proper treatment would be provided at time. None of the patients would get neglected as each and everyone would get a chance to use this disease identifier. And there will be less crowds at hospitals so as to reduce the contamination of the infectious diseases like the coronavirus, which is a pandemic now. If this device is fitted in every healthcare centers and public places, it will be very much beneficial for both the doctors and the patients. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.